Okay. Um, with all of these, I don't know how to start it, so I'm just going to start it. I want to ask a question to be able to compare like, understanding of that why I thought that it's like whether or not the title of the whole thing is going to be not advantageous, not artificial. Damn it, what is the word? Appropriate. Like whether the title is appropriate to. It's like if it's just I imagine the flow of power and influence that's going on in, like I was saying, in several not departments, several industries within like where people collectivize their efforts, like in selling things, in economics, in politics, in um, entertainment. I've seen a lot of pushing for a world that is better than the reality it was created. Not the reality it was created. Wrong wording. Pushing for a world that is better than the one that it currently is, but with a utopian vision of where the world could be. Like things could be perfect. I do see a lot of that shifting in between different groups. And I don't even know if I'm wording that the right way. If group is the right word for how everything is organized, like the right. Actually, it's shifting in between different. I do see it shifting in between different industries. So maybe that would be an appropriate word for it. I've seen it shifting in between different industries, and it seems to be consistent on a particular element. One that I don't like, and the other one that it's I think root to like the intent behind it. It seems to be people that believe that the world can be guided to a better place, but the people that you need to guide need to be lied to get them there. At least from my perspective, it seems to be consistent that that is a mentality of the individuals that think and operate in that way. That they have an idea of a better world that could be built, a better organization of humanity, and that humans need to be led to that better world through lies, deceit, deception, and subterfuge. Basically, you need to tailor their environment to guide them to yeah, a planned economy is basically it, but then it would be multifaceted. It wouldn't just be a planned economy on an economic level or a political level. It's also like planned in reference to entertainment, where if you're trying to inspire someone to be the best person that they can be, instead of them understanding the environment around them to be able to improve their own life. It is only how can their actions shift power from one group to the other, and usually to the benefit of the one that is pushing that kind of angle and agenda. So, the question I wanted to ask is how farcical, but that's not an appropriate word, how outlandish is the idea of a flying car? And the reason I ask that is because it takes a certain level of technology to create any such thing. Like anything that you're using, it took a combination of skills and applications of an understanding of just the natural world to be able to make that thing. But in the way that it was influenced by class, you could have the ultra rich have, and then as an example, like if the ultra rich had teleportation and like travel to like another planet, it is very possible that you could have, I don't know, and infinite food source on like a planet, like where you have a hydroponic system that all you need to do is supply it with water and nutrient paste, and it pumps out any variety of natural plant that you can think of because it's programmed to synthesize seeds and use the nutrient paste to um, make food. And they would need that for for the travel for no, I was talking about teleportation, so that you wouldn't need any low speed travel. All besides the point. The question I'm trying to ask is, if you have a select few people who have access to a high level of technology, it's not inherent that they would share it, but progress onto higher levels of technology, the runoff tends to be of benefit to just people in general, because like combustion cars, like it's improved travel, and then as people were innovating them and selling them, it's been an improvement to where now people don't even imagine their lives without having high speed travel. Walking around on your feet is a luxury as compared to a necessity. Like travel is always a necessity. People are going to need to move around themselves and goods for their own benefit and for just things to function. But then on top of it, the method of moving things around has evolved is the word that comes to mind, but it's changed. Before it was manual labor, now it's more machine labor. So in that same vein where you are still doing the same things, but the tools have evolved. In that evolution of tool usage, my question is shit. Why did I forget it? My question is why. Shit, gotta pause. Hold on. I have no other way to get back after coming back from this break. I have no other way to get back into this besides just saying it. I think what I should call this particular recording is elitists. In that, and no, what I mean by that is a top-down view of the world, a top-down superiority complex from an educated mind. And it seems to be, like, from my perspective, a consistent thing that you have someone who has studied a thing thinking they know more, or no, that gives them that should give them credibility amongst people, or just over people in the conversation, I would assume. And I know I think the same thing, but then I will explain it. Like I don't take the time to explain the exact pacing of whatever thing that I'm trying to explain at the time, simply out of a lack of a lack of patience or impatience. Because I don't think I will be able to sit down with someone and pace them through whatever I'm thinking about, and then we not that we still come to the same conclusion, that it will then be like, oh, I see what you mean, and then like the conversation continues on. I feel like it's more a matter of like, okay, I'm going to go at your speed. So whatever we're talking about, if I bring up something and you ask a question about it, I will happily explain. But if there's anything where I feel like you're not getting it, I'm going to over explain. And I realize that's a me issue. But I'm not going to be able to stop doing that because I can tell when somebody's not making the same connections in between bits of information that I am. I can tell when the train has gone off the tracks. Or I'm hyper vigilant against the possibility of that being the issue. But either way, I want to title this Elitist because I think there's a viewpoint amongst people who have been advising others in different fields and industries like entertainment, like politics, like science, like medicine, like education, where they are trying to advise people on a route to a better world, but they're doing it through deceit. Like they're not going to sit down with that person and tell them, okay, for want of a better word, I'm trying to figure out a way how to work this into a conversation, but I don't think I can. Blank slate theory. There are people out there that believe that humans are purely formed by their social environment. That you're not born into this world with any kind of natural wiring that is going to guide and change your expression of yourself over the course of your lifetime. That is absolutely true. You are going to act a certain way because of the genes within your cells, whether you like it or not. That's just something you're going to need to accept. But then there are college educated people that, for whatever reason, believe that you can work towards a better world through strict control and influence and manipulation instead of open dialogue. And I can not prove that, but it's an odd thing in that it's not provable because you can't ask the person, like, do you believe. Well, you should be able to. And yeah, that is a problem that I haven't been able to narrow down an exact list of questions that you could ask someone, and it could you could find overlap between all those different industries. Like I do believe it is coming out of colleges, so there should be an overlap, at least the subject matter in which you can narrow down from what discipline that kind of utopian thinking is coming from. But I have to admit that I don't have that list of questions right now. Also need to not do that into the mic. Sorry about that. But okay, it's going to be named Elitists. I'm going to attempt to do another export of a file because for whatever reason the last one didn't work. But that is entirely besides the point. Like 12 minutes, so I'll make it, upload it. Ideological war, elitists. Like a good example. Let me take another pause. Well, I lost my train of thought, so I'll just leave it there. Ideological war, elitists. It's like, where did this line of thinking come from where you could build a better world through controlled guidance? That has never worked. A top down, hierarchical view of any structure of humanity has never worked long term. At best it's worth short term because of logistics of transfer to communication. Like they're not going to be able to talk to each other about the things that are necessary for keeping cohesion within that group because there's too many people spread out over too big of an area. I guess. Yeah, I'm still missing my own point. I'm the one that's supposed to know what the fuck I'm talking about. All right.